pressure game and your team performed. They were at it right from the start. What pleased you the most about that performance and win?
Yeah, the performance, I think it was extraordinary, especially the first half and then some part of the second half. The way we played the first half, the way we played, the courage that we show, how positive the team was in a reaction. It was really impressive. It should have been much higher score at halftime, and then very pleased obviously with the result, with another clean sheet. Good day.
Particularly in the second half, it got a lot more open. How big a test did it feel?
Yeah, it was, and obviously not scoring more goals in the first half is always the case. A team is going to react. Great to Bournemouth as well. They are really brave in the way they attack. They are really direct. They have a lot of threat in the box, and we have to suffer at times. But I thought after as well, we were very clinical. We had the chances.
You talked about the courage that your players have shown. What does the way that they've managed this run-in tell you about the growth and progress they've made?
Because I think they are living the moment with the right enthusiasm and feeling part of something nice and enjoyable. And they say, we're going to do everything that we can. You know, we've done it for 1.5 months. Let's keep doing it for the last few weeks of the season. And I feel that energy within them.
Declan Rice was named man of the match today. How impressed were you with him and what difference has he made?
Yeah, he was unbelievable. Defensively, offensively, we were in the final third today. He had a big contribution in many situations. He was a real threat in many occasions and scored a goal that showed a lot of composure on the box as well to take that extra touch and finish the action with that level of quality.
And you mentioned a clean sheet, 15 now. That means David Raya has officially won the Golden Glove. They say defences win titles. Yours are doing their bit.
I hope whoever said that is very right, and that's the case. But credit to the whole team for the way that they defend and how much they won it, and obviously for David because he had a very good impact.
Well, you extend your lead at the top of the table now to 4 points. You are one step closer, 2 games left to go. Manchester United up next. When you looked at the games in the run-in, was this the one that you pinpointed as one of the biggest tests you could face?
Yeah, well, we just played 2 very difficult London derbies and won both of them. The run that we are in, the momentum that we are in, and we know we're going to have to go to Old Trafford, a really tough place to go against a really good team and try to beat them.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Harry Brown, beIN Sports, with the man of the match, Declan Rice. The fact you were 2-0 up, but 96 minutes in, you were going on goal once again. What sort of message were you sending with that performance today?
Yeah, I feel like it's probably up there with probably the best goals I've scored this season, just because of not the actual finish, but the build-up of myself, going from one end of the pitch to the other. You know, just having that extra bit of energy and belief that something could come of the situation. And luckily enough, it did. And if you don't make them runs, you don't score. So I'm delighted with the goal, the assist, and the win. It's a really big day for us.
It is a really big day for you. 88 goals now, joint with your highest goal-scoring tally in the Premier League for Arsenal, and remarkably 26 wins, also equal to Arsenal's goal-scoring tally. Beautiful assist for Trossard as well, and I think the fans were feeling the nerves. Did you feel those nerves? And how much do you believe this can all get you to lift that trophy this season?
Yeah, obviously after the missed chances in the first half, I feel like there was a bit of anxiousness in the stadium, but once we got the one, I feel like we knew we was going to go on to score more goals, and Leo's an unbelievable finisher. I had no doubt he wasn't going to miss. And look, it's a dream, isn't it? It's a dream to win the Premier League, to lift it. Man City have obviously been so dominant, but this club, you know, the stature of this club and the classiness and the quality of it deserves these big moments again. So look, we're praying and something can go our way. Obviously it's out of our hands and we can only really focus on us. I feel like that's the most important thing, not looking too far ahead, just keep doing what we've got to do and see what happens.
Havertz went down and Bournemouth weren't entirely happy. They thought he trailed his leg a bit. But do you think they level out this season, or is it really confusing in front of goal on what stand?
Yeah, to be honest with you, if I'd seen it, I'd be able to come in and give a better view. From what I will see on the pitch, he takes it around him. If he's been brought down, he's obviously going to tap the ball in the net. So he's been brought down, denied a goal-scoring opportunity. So I feel like they were moaning about the first one, and then they said the second one obviously wasn't a foul, but if it's been checked, then obviously it's a goal. I don't really don't really know too much else on that.
You've got to keep on winning. You go to Old Trafford. We know what the atmosphere is like, but this team rises to the big occasion.
Yeah, I think this season you've seen that. Old Trafford's a fortress. You know, they tend to turn up for the big teams. You know, they always play well against the big teams. So, look, again, it's another week of preparation, getting ourselves mentally ready for what's to come. And, yeah, again, you know, just stay focused on what we can do.
Your first season here, man of the match, more Premier League goals than you've scored before, and you decided to come to this club and not Manchester City. Are you watching the game later?
No, I'm not going to watch. To be honest with you, I've not been watching games from other teams for the past few months, to be honest with you. Maybe if it's on, like, I'll watch it, but I won't purposely sit down and watch it just because I don't want to put too much energy into that. You know, I want to focus on what we can do and how we can affect games. So yeah, I'm sure I'll get updates, but I'm not gonna sit and watch it.
The belief's there that you can win it this year.
Oh, 100%. I feel like you can just sense it. You see the vibe in the stadium with the fans. Yeah, look, it's exciting to talk about because we're there. But look, there's still 2 games to go, and I've been in situations before where you could potentially win stuff, and you know it hasn't gone that way. So I don't want to think too much into that. You know, it's just they've obviously got 3 games, we've got 2, and you know hopefully something can happen in this special game called football. You know, things happen, and we're praying for something too.
Yes, Declan, congratulations as this crowd sing Rice, Rice, baby as you walk off the pitch. 3
gets me every time.
3 points, a goal and an assist. That couldn't have gone any better for you and your team today.
Yeah, I think you see it in the first half. It was domination. We could have been 4 or 5 if I'm being honest with you. I missed the sitter and I was fuming, to be honest. I couldn't let it go, and I knew there was an opportunity for me today to score, assist, and even for my goal then, you know, I was back in my own half and I just sensed it. Bournemouth players were out on their feet and just kept going and arrived in a position that I'd done quite frequently today, and goal, assist and 3 points. It's, after speaking yesterday, it's what we needed.
Yeah, when we spoke yesterday, you said that you actually prefer assisting to scoring goals. It's 7 goals, 9 assists now. Do you still prefer assisting?
Do you know what? I do like assisting. It just feels good for some reason. I'm sure all the top players in the world will say that as well when they assist. Like, it's just such a good feeling, especially for me because I don't get to do it much. But look, I'm delighted. It was, like I said, it was a big result because they've been in some top form. They're a really good team. Big respect to them. But we knew today it was business, and we had to handle it.
Yeah, you talked about the amount of chances you had before you won that penalty. Did it feel like it was going to be one of those days?
Yeah, it can do. You look back at the Villa game the other week when we had 4 or 5 in the first half, and second half it's a bit cagey. Still think we can improve in the second half, become a bit of a basketball match, and that's not our game. Could have been a bit more composed. They caused a bit of chaos, and we caused our own damage really at times. But to win 3-0, get it over the line, now leads into another big one next week, and we're fully focused.
It didn't look like a huge moment like it was the way Saka just rolled that penalty in so coolly either, did it?
Yeah, you know, fair play to him. You know, ever since the Euros, when he missed the penalty, I think his mindset on penalties and the way he practices them and the way he now takes them in different positions and different spots, full credit to him because that takes courage, and he's been top at them for us.
Well, look, you're 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League table, potentially 2 games away from winning the Premier League title. How are you managing the nerves, the pressure, the excitement, all of it?
Do you know what? I think this year, obviously I wasn't here last year, but I think this year I can sense that we're just embracing it. You know, obviously, like you said, Man City, well, they're a machine. You know, they win most of their games, but we can only focus on us. And, you know, we have been doing that in recent weeks. We've had an unbelievable 2024. I think the record that we've had is just out of this world. So look, anything can happen in football. Surprises happen, miracles happen, and look, we're obviously 2 games to go. We've just got to stay focused.
Well done today. You are the man of the match.
Thank you.
Yes, he said they just need to keep doing what they're doing. You can feel the energy within the team. Do you feel as well we're seeing a more relaxed Mikel Arteta in this run-in? Do you think that might be rubbing off on his players?
Yeah, well, he's learning. He's gaining experience. You know, he's a top young manager. Already what he's achieved at this club is incredible. From where they were to where they are today. Like I said, I saw a team today that looked like champions. You know, I can't pick holes in their team, in their squad, in what they do off the pitch, around the ground. And he's right. You know, the unfortunate thing is Manchester City are a machine, you know, but machines break sometimes, and they just got to hope that Man City slip up at some point over the next few weeks. But this team can be very proud of their body of work, regardless of whether they get their hands on that trophy, because they've been incredible.
You'd always rather have the points on the board, Martin, as well, than the games in hand, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. And now, of course, it's over to City. But you look at 17 clean sheets, 88 goals. It was interesting. Fletch was saying in commentary that maybe they needed another striker. They still have 10 more goals than Man City. So maybe they don't. But it's been remarkable what they've achieved, and may it continue. We're all hoping Arsenal can go on and do it, but I think Man City are a little bit extra special. Obviously it's in their hands, but the boys, what they can't do is they can't be any kind of failure, because the media, the noise is everywhere, and this team is now showing it can do it. It can do it over that terrain. It didn't do it last year, but it's doing it now, and it's going to go to the last day of the season.
That conversation about them needing a striker, that was very loud, especially at the start of the season. It seems to have faded a lot. How much of that is down to the form of Kai Havertz, but also the fact that so many players are chipping in goals in this team, and they're chipping in enough?
It's a valid argument. There's no one in the team who you would consider a natural number 9. But similar to what was happening with Pep and Manchester City before Erling Haaland come through the door, people said they don't need, but they were winning titles. They winning. Erling Haaland comes in. Granted, they win the treble and they win the Champions League. But if you look at the way that they've spread the goals around, it's quite incredible. And Declan Rice will be just behind them on that list as well. So there's this real quality all over the pitch, and having a number 9 would help, of course. But listen, they've not put a foot wrong in the transfer market.
It's kind of another sort of tool in the box, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe I suppose people were saying like an Ian Wright type finisher, but they've done okay with what they have, and there's the way they float and move, and teams just can't deal with them. They just overload. They smothered Bournemouth today at times. They kept them in there in that final third.
Therefore, it's for clear and obvious and glaring errors that the referees made, and because when you slow things down,
we can forget sometimes because VAR's got involved when it really shouldn't be getting involved. But I think now that those lines of boundaries have been defined, and today was a good example of that.
Some people may say, how clear and obvious can it be when there's replay after replay looked at, and it did take a little while.
But first and foremost, I don't like what VAR is for football anyway. And I made my mind up after a lot of deliberation after the Coventry goal in the semi-final. I thought that was just taking a moment away from football, from a marginal. And then the Chelsea situation up at Aston Villa, and I was like, right, I'm done with this now. And then today, it's actually worked to the letter of the law. But I can put myself in Adoni Iraola's shoes and feel aggrieved. And I can also, if the referee would be sitting there thinking, I made the right decisions there as well. But sometimes in football, you cannot make things black and white.
Semi-automated. Next season, it will be much better. We don't want to use it until halfway through the season, by the way. But when it comes in, it'll be much better.
And it's no surprise, as you're happy with the decision that gave Arsenal the
course.
penalty, and of course the Bournemouth goal to be disallowed. Let's hear then what Andoni Iraola made of all of that. He's with Jules.
Andoni, you want to play high-intensity, aggressive football, but how difficult was it to do that against this Arsenal team today?
I think they deserve to win today. I think they were much better than us in the first half. I think the first half we were defending too low, and we were surviving, in the first half, but it was not what we wanted to do. In the second half we were much more aggressive. I finished very happy how we played in the second half. I think we have put them under pressure, but it hasn't been enough.
Your goalkeeper, Mark Travers, made some big saves, particularly in that first half before he conceded the penalty. Was he unlucky with that?
Yeah, I think he was. I don't think it's a penalty. I think Havertz is the one trying to find the contact, and I don't think he's diving at the end. We are giving a penalty for someone that is finding the penalty. It's a smart decision from Kai Havertz. But I can understand it that the VAR doesn't overturn it. I don't understand the second half goal. I cannot understand it. To give the foul they've given, I just cannot understand it, because it's in the same place, a much more clear foul to Philip Billing, 1 meter in front of him. And for me, are key decisions. And I repeat, they deserve to win. Clearly, I think they've been much better than us. But I don't think it has to be this way. I understand the narrative of the game, that they are playing for the title. We are already in a good spot. But the moments we had, key moments, before half-time, with the 0-0, when you are going to score the 2-1, and then we are playing well, and key moments that have been important decisions that haven't allowed us to compete in the end.
With your goal that was disallowed, did you get an explanation from the referees as to why it was disallowed?
No, there is no explanation. There is, he calls the foul, and the VAR, I am sure they are going to tell me in 2-3 days, all the members of the panel that are there, no, you were right, it's not a foul, or it's a penalty for Philip Billing before, or the penalty is not to Kai Havertz, but yeah, it's over. It's 3-0. We keep the narrative until the end, until the last day of the season. But I have to repeat, I think they deserve to win us because they were better than us today.
Yeah, despite today's result, it's been a hugely impressive first season for you in the Premier League, and the way this team have grown throughout the season. You must be incredibly proud of what you've achieved.
Yeah, very proud, because the players have been improving all the season. I think today probably felt a little bit disappointed because the way we played first half, and we defended quite well, and we survived until the penalty, but I think we want to be the team in the second half. We've been mostly all the season this team, and I hope we can continue winning it. Yeah.
Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Andoni Iraola saying Arsenal deserved to win. They were better than them, but also saying they were key decisions which went against them, big moments in the game. He felt that the pull on Billing was more of a foul than the one on Raya that the goal was ruled out for.
I can't disagree with him, but we just cannot get into the every corner and set pieces when your little hands on some. You slow it down, it looks like there's 3 or 4 fouls every set piece. So I think the referee just looked at Solanke just moving the goal, but I can understand his frustration, but he's right. A fair play to him for saying Arsenal deserved the victory, and I think he'd be happy with his team's performance in the second half, because they could have gone. Because imagine walking into that dressing room at half time, you've not seen the ball, it should have been 4-5-0. They're going to come out and put you to the sword, the Arsenal team, but they come out, the lads, and they responded, and they was good, to be fair. So he's going to take some positives from it, but it's a golfing class between Arsenal and Bournemouth is quite big.
Absolutely. Lots of positives for them to take forward, Martin. They've got Brentford at home, Chelsea away next. They're just going to want to finish strongly so they can take that positive momentum into next season. Yeah,
it's already their biggest points haul that they've had. So there's a lot to... I just thought that they played with lots of fluidity. Their wide players look really pacey. Kluivert had a couple of moments in the game, didn't he, when he perhaps could have passed. One, he had a fantastic shot. So they were lively. They'll give teams a problem. I can understand the manager. Perhaps he's annoyed with the officiating, the actual referee's decision. But the protocol was carried out rightly or wrongly today, that the VAR supported the referee, and I felt because there was no real major mistakes. He was lucky that maybe he didn't lose a player as well early on, and they could have gone down to 10 men.
Right club, right teammates at the right time. And another great signing for them has been Leandro Trossard, who got that second goal. The timing of that goal, Martin, just how crucial was it? Because Bournemouth...
Without doubt, it was. It's about scoring the goals in the right moments. And this guy, that was a lovely little ball, reverse pass there from Declan Rice outside the right foot. But this fella's ruthless. He's joined the party, and his stats are phenomenal since he's been at the club. He's forced Martinelli out of the side. You've got good competition, but every time he comes in, look, just when you need him, tucks it away beautifully. Seen him do that so many times now.
He's a top player, Trossard. Really, again coming into a settled dressing room, he's just able to show his ability. But that pass from Declan Rice by there, if Lionel Messi does that pass, the world stops. Declan Rice, he just added more and more games. It is an unbelievable pass. So have the vision to drive in there and just know the players there, turn him outside of the boot. Yeah, they was playing Rice Baby after the death. And then, listen, he's just settled in. He's been brilliant.
11 Premier League goals for Trossard. As January signings go, he's got to be up there with one of the best, Martin.
Well, we nearly bought Mudryk from Chelsea. And, we're still not sure about him. Maybe some people are. But, we're certainly sure about Trossard.
He was a lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper, 20 million. It's incredible, great bit of business. And, you credit Edu and his team for homing in on that target.
I think the Mudryk situation, I think Mudryk's a project. There's a player in Mudryk, and he's improving, he's getting better, and Chelsea will hopefully will get the best of him. I think they've pivoted, then they thought, right, we haven't got the player we want that we can sort of ease into the squad, Mark, but we're going to go with Trossard, who can come in and do a job off the bench and fill it. And I don't think even the people here, I think they're surprised how well he's done, because I've watched him play many times as a top player, but I didn't see him have the effect he's done. So fair play to him, he's been brilliant.
And he's clearly really got the trust of the manager now, the starts he's getting. Declan Rice, though, he got that lovely assist, a man of the match performance. But the goal as well. It was a goal his performance deserved, Martin, did you feel?
Yes, and he said, didn't he, in his interview, it really annoyed him. It bugged him at half-time that he'd missed a good opportunity in the first half. And, once his job is done, he's put out all those fires around the pitch. You know what, I'll get forward myself, why not? Let's just capitalise. I've given an assist and I'll hit one. Just a little delay there. Just puts the keeper off, doesn't it? Draws him, and it's a lovely finish, and it's really good for his confidence there. And we've just been talking about Havertz. This is the other signing, and this is what's making Arsenal go step for step now with Man City this second season at the top.
Yeah, he's done everything today, and that's beautifully composed. Martin's right, like the way he just took that touch and then that extra step. Well stood still. The goalkeeper's slightly there, and he just picks his lovely strike. I mean, he's done absolutely everything on the football pitch today. I'd liken that performance to like a prime Gerrard, Roy Keane, Vieira, that type of player, where he does complete midfield performance from him.
One of the things questioned about Arsenal for quite a while, Martin, was a lack of leaders. And obviously they've got Ødegaard as the captain, but how much of a leader is him for them in the way he holds himself, the way he plays?
Of course, personality, saying the right things at the right time, but you do your talking with your performance above all else. Look at that for a beautiful turn. I mean, look, that you're right. It's a Messi, he's got eyes in the back of his head there. And again, it's just the composure that's coming. And he has the skill set. He can finish the boy. And he can celebrate. Look at this. He's saying, wow, look at that. That's me. I'm having myself. And that's what you have to feel, that energy that you leave the ground with. But look, Man City, it's over to you now, isn't it? They've made them suffer just for a few more hours.
Phil Foden was named the Football Writers Association Player of the Season. He won that award. But for you guys, where does Declan Rice come in that conversation?
He's well up there with Phil. Phil's been tremendous as well, but Declan's up there in the conversation. The problem, I think, I know we're digressing here, but the problem with he's developed so much, Declan, in terms of going forward and adding things to his game. I think it gives Gareth a slight problem, because Gareth might want to operate him even further forward, like someone in there, because he can just do everything. We could have done a 10-minute clips of the things he was doing today, dominating possession, crashing into tackles, scoring goals, making goals. He's right up there as good as anyone in the league. Phil got and rightly so, Phil got his name on the award, but it could have been Declan quite easily.
Is that one of the most impressive things, Martin, the way he's been able to excel as a 6 and as an 8 and go between the two positions?
Definitely, and why not though? It might be in the summer that I think he probably is going to sit deep in the midfield for England, but if he has to get forward, he's shown the ability that he's got, and there will be moments in the game. It won't be plain sailing for England, but you want now a player that you can know that can go there, and he's almost had a trial out for us, hasn't he? He's got new things in the cupboard that we didn't know were there. And he looks like a player who's suddenly realising the talent that he has, and it's Christ, look at this! I can do this. I can finish like this. I can see a long pass. His game is his game management now is very good. He's very important to Arsenal. He just takes that into England in the summer, so he's a fantastic plus for Gareth Southgate.
He played a key part, of course, in Leandro Trossard's all-important second goal. How much of this was down to desire by Declan Rice?
It's all about desire, and being in the right place at the right time. He gets in there and still knows, a little flick with the outside of his right foot. He knows where Trossard is and sets him up nicely.
You can quite clearly see there from Trossard. He keeps his width. I mean, Adam Smith, to be fair, is in the right position, good defending. But with Declan Rice making that burst, it's probably Semenyo who lets him go. He gets distracted by Declan Rice, who makes that run. And by the time he goes in there, because Trossard's held his width, it's dropped him. And it's really good improvisation from Declan Rice, by the way, because it's behind him. Just leaves it in there. And it's a really good finish from Trossard.
And from provider to goal scorer himself.
Yeah, and he's what he deserves. The game he's had today has been brilliant again. And he was saying, I still not have him that he likes assists more than goals, though. No chance. He's making the run there. He tells him where to put it. And I thought he'd gone too narrow then, but he just smashes it past the goalie. So, great finish and a great end to the game.
He has got a good finish on him, Darren.
Yeah, again, maybe last season, while he's been at West Ham playing that more defensive role, we haven't seen it. We probably didn't see it earlier on in the first half of the season. But since he's got that Thomas Partey or Jorginho next to him, you're starting to see him express an open play, not his delivery from set plays, but an open play, and he drives forward, and that goal there, I mean, he comes from nowhere. And he said it in his interview, he said that, I realised there was an opportunity there because the Bournemouth players looked dead on their feet, and he just senses it and just goes, but when he gets to that final third, so deadly in front of goal.
Before that third goal from Arsenal, Bournemouth thought they got themselves back into the contest. Antoine Semenyo, despite an injury doubt, clearly played a huge role in this move. It ended up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
But for a foul that was given by Solanke on the keeper.
Yeah. So my thing with this is that Solanke's not playing the ball; he's playing the player. There is not even looking at the ball, and he's gone to nudge Raya just before he's gone to leap to punch it. And look, Raya's just got his eyes on the ball. He gets a decent punch on it, but he has been impeded by the player. Solanke knows exactly what he's doing.
Darren?
Yeah, it probably is by the letter of the law, but I do feel Arsenal maybe have got away with one there, because yes, he hasn't played the ball, but there's not a lot of contact, is there? But again, we saw it at Chelsea-Aston Villa. Classic example, Badiashil's into Diego Carlos's back. They cross it, they score, they disallow it. So what you can say is at least there's consistency.
Split decision in the studio. That only calls for a referee. Dermot Gallagher joins us now in the Match Centre. Dermot, always good to see you. Was the referee, David Coote, right to rule that one out?
Great angle from behind the goal, Manish, where you see that Solanke actually not only gives him a little nudge, but he puts his arm under Raya's arm, and I think that's enough to pull him back, which just puts him off balance. So look here. This is it there. He just pins his arm there, which just knocks him off balance, which is the arm he's going to punch with. On-field, referee's call. He gave it on-field. VAR looks at that, never going to be overturned. I wouldn't even say it's an error.
So any suggestions that there wasn't enough to impede Raya?
I think that's the angle there that I was talking about, Manish. What he does, he just pins his arm underneath, which is enough to put him off as he goes to punch the ball, and that's why he missed punches.
Yeah. OK. What about Arsenal's first goal, which came from the penalty spot? The challenge made by the Bournemouth keeper, Mark Travers, on Kai Havertz.
Again, referee's call, Manish. If you look at it, Havertz is bearing down on goal. Travers comes out with his feet. I think that's the key issue for me. He comes out with his feet. And if you see that, I think everybody would say penalty. You see this, you maybe say you're not so convinced because does he go into him? But once he comes out with his feet like that, he's got to get the ball, and he doesn't.
The insinuation of that left foot, though, dragging along the ground, almost catching Travers.
Yeah, I get that, Manish, but what you would say, if you look at that at speed, you see the speed he's come out and how much he misses the ball, I think the expectation is penalty. When we slow it down, we always get a different view. But the referee's call was penalty. VAR is never going to overturn.
When he puts his foot out like that, if he's not touching the ball, he's leaving himself vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's the same if you go out with your arm.
Yes, and you've been in that position.
I've been in that position, yes.
Yeah. All right, Dermot, thanks very much indeed.
Arsenal cruised to a 3-0 home win over Bournemouth to boost their hopes of claiming their first Premier League title in 20 years. After spurning several golden opportunities, Arsenal's persistence paid off when Bukayo Saka showed great composure to slot home his penalty on the stroke of half-time. Leandro Trossard doubled the home side's advantage in the 70th minute, guiding the ball past Mark Travers to register his 10th goal of the Premier League season. Mikel Arteta's side were given a slight scare when Antoine Semenyo found the net before the Ghanaian strike was disallowed for a foul against David Raya. Despite seeing Gabriel Magalhaes's fierce strike ruled out, the Gunners eventually added a third thanks to Declan Rice's 97th-minute shot. A fourth consecutive victory moves Arsenal 4 points clear of Manchester City, who will have the chance to respond in Saturday's evening kickoff against Wolverhampton Wanderers.